Hello parents, are you aware that there are apps out there that could be placing your children at risk, exposing them to hateful and inappropriate photos online? In this video, I will break down for you today the 4 apps that could be destroying your children. And if you stick around to the end, I'll share some bonus content on how to talk to your kids about these apps. My name is Jack Hughes. I have a lot of experience with getting around parental controls because I have been doing it all my life. I used to stay up till 3 or 4 a.m. watching YouTube videos on my phone with my brother. But now I help you as the parent to prevent your kids from doing exactly what I did as a kid. Without any further ado, let's jump right into app 1, which is something I call the Calculator Vault app. Now, what is a Calculator Vault app, you might ask? A Calculator Vault app is an app that's designed to look like any old calculator on your phone. You can do 1 + 1 = 2, 5 divided by 5 equals 5. I don't know that actually. But it looks like any other calculator app. You can do whatever normal calculator stuff on there as you want. But once you type in a specific combination of numbers, I just type in 5006, it lets me on a page where I can hide videos, I can hide folders, I can hide photos, I can hide passwords, I can hide anything I want on my phone into that app that's designed to fool people to look like a calculator. I'll give you a little demonstration here. Here we just have the Calculator Vault app right here and now in this calculator app, we can do 5 × 5 = 25. We can do 9 × 9 = 81. A normal calculator app, you can do division, divide that by 9 = 9. We all know this. But once I type in 5006, bam, it lets me on this home page where I can hide videos, I can hide photos, I can hide documents, practically notes, anything I want, I could hide on this app. And to be honest, there is really no reason that your children should be hiding stuff from you on these apps. And so I would recommend deleting these apps. And if you're unaware if this is a normal calculator app or if this is a Calculator Vault app, there's a lot of them out there. It's not just one app. One thing I would recommend doing is looking at their storage size. If the calculator app is above 50 megabytes, it's probably most likely going to be a Vault app and not a normal calculator app. There's no reason that a normal calculator should be above 50 megabytes. But I would go so far as to say that they really shouldn't have any other calculator app than what's already installed on their phone, which is just a normal Apple calculator. All right, the second type of app to look out for is VPN apps. Now, you may ask yourself, if you don't know what a VPN is, what is a VPN? A VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. Essentially, what it kind of does in a nutshell is it's going to a server and it's using that server to look up web pages instead of the phone looking at the web pages itself. So what that allows it to do is it allows it to get around parental controls or some parental controls. It allows it to not allow parental controls to track them. It's marketed as a safer way to browse the internet, which is completely true, but that safety also protects it from a lot of parental controls. Sadly, there really isn't any solution other than to delete VPNs and not allow them to have VPNs on their phone, just because it's not worth the risk of having them on their phone. On to our third apps, which are chat apps. The most popular chat apps would be Omegle, it would be Chat Hub, Chat Relay, Chat Dumb. All these are popular online or app chat sites. And by all the apps on this list, chat rooms and Omegle and whatnot are probably worst ones on these lists. And so essentially what these chat apps are is they're like FaceTime or like a Zoom conference call with random people across the world. You don't know who you're going into with. Essentially, you're just on the app or you're on the website and you just get linked up with random people. Now, as you can imagine, these apps are full of depravity, hate speech, cyberbullying. It's led to real world crimes, pedophilia. It's rampant with pedophilia. Truly, these apps should be illegal across the world. They're horrible apps. They may not be intended to be that way, but they definitely are because the people on them are creeps. Your children should have nothing to do with these apps. You should scan their phone and make sure there's none of these apps on their phone. I would also scan their search history, make sure they haven't been visiting any of these websites. This is one you want to be very careful about because it's quite popular. There's a lot of YouTube videos on these apps that people will like troll others on YouTube on these apps. So there's probably a good chance that your children has used these apps because they're really popular. Our fourth and final app is a well-known app, or I should say it's a small app called Instagram. Now, I would recommend that your child or teenager should be at least 16 to use Instagram. And the reason for that is they cause a lot of body image issues. I tend, even on Instagram, I would compare myself to like the top 0.1% of the population, which has perfect six-pack and a perfect body. Even I compare myself to those people and I feel discouraged and depressed. It's not good for your mental health. It's even worse for women and girls. There's also a lot of pornography on Instagram, both softcore and hardcore. Another reason why it's not good to let your children have Instagram is that they would be sharing photos of themselves online to complete strangers. And that's probably not the best and the safest thing for your children, especially because there's a lot of messed up people out there. There's been cases of them tracking people down, and like a creep down in Florida tracked this girl across the country down and broke into her house, and it's a whole big story. You could probably find that online. But I'd be very wary about Instagram, and I would also make sure and like scan what they're posting on Instagram. And I really wouldn't let them have Instagram unless they're 16 or over. But of course, you can make that call because you are the parent. Oftentimes, children just want to use the apps that their friends are using. If I were you, I would sit down with them and I would talk to them how that's actually a logical fallacy. Just because people are running off a cliff does not mean that you should also run off the cliff. I would highly recommend making a pros and cons list and having them see your side of the story logically, and like, all right, what are the pros and cons of Instagram? Pros, you can talk to your friends easier. You can watch videos online. You can post yourself and you can see what your friends are doing online. Cons, you get depressed. You waste so much time on Instagram. You share photos with each other. A lot of negatives with Instagram, but a lot of positives. So I would recommend making a pros and cons list and coming to a conclusion with them. Don't just ban it just because you're scared or because you heard just to delete it. But seriously talk through them and kind of let them see your perspective. And if they don't listen, of course, you are the parent and you can make the final judgment there. If you're looking for further information, feel free to check out my website at parenttech.support. If you found this video helpful, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. And if you have any other parents that might need my help, feel free to send this video to them. Thank you. Have a great day.